Jamie on the open line. Hi.
Morning, gentlemen.
Yeah, hi.
Michael Levy.
Yes, sir.
You said that knowledge is power. Let me give some to the people in the form of a quote from Thomas Jefferson. If the American people ever allowed private banks to control the issuance of their currency, first by inflation and then by deflation, the banks and corporations that will grow up around them will deprive the people of all their property until their children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. The issuing power should be removed from the banks and restored to the people to whom it properly belongs. I sincerely believe that banking institutions are more dangerous to our liberties than standing armies. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, of course, just things that you cannot admit. Everybody says follow the money. Nobody follows it backwards to the printers.
The fact remains is that the U.S. Federal Reserve is a consortium of private banks. The chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve is appointed by the president, but the U.S. Fed is private.
That's why they say, permit me to issue a country's currency and I don't care who makes its laws. If you're the guy with the printer, you're the decider.
This is the Lincoln quote. The money powers prey upon the nation in times of peace and conspire against it in times of adversity. I see in the near future a crisis approaching that unnerves me and causes me to tremble for the safety of my country. Corporations have been enthroned. An era of corruption will follow, and the money power of the country will endeavor to prolong its reign by working upon the prejudices of the people until the wealth is aggregated in a few hands and the republic is destroyed. Wall Street has killed Main Street.
So I know how unpopular it is to be seen as helping banks right now, especially when everyone is suffering in part from their bad decisions. I promise you, I get it.
The banks are going to come to you for another bailout. Now in the United States, when they got the bailout, because they borrow the money off of a private Federal Reserve bank to bail out the banks, picture the scenario. The first bailout, we're going to have to give $700 billion to the banks to bail them out. So the banks print the money, $700 billion. Then they just divvy it up amongst themselves because that's who the bailout was for. But the government now has to pay back that loan. So it's $700 billion plus whatever. You got nothing for that, other than saving a bunch of banks so they could buy some more banks. You gave them $700 billion in the first place to bail them out. Now you're going to repay them $700 billion for the loan that you took.
What we have here is a situation where banks are hoarding the money that they're getting from the TARP. They're using the money to purchase other banks, and all of a sudden the Treasury sent a signal to the banks, forget about it. We're going to give you the money that you want, and you do what you want with it. I don't think anyone questions, Mr. Kashkari, that you're working hard. Our question is who you're working for.
people that are knowledgeable know that the fight that this country has been waging since its inception is for the central bankers not to take over the country.
In 1913, the money power of the country was taken away from the people. By constitutional privilege, it belongs with the Congress, but it was given up in the Federal Reserve Act. The Federal Reserve is no more federal than Federal Express.
What we've done is relied on experts all around the world. We got the top economic minds, not the Truth Party, but the rest of the parties. And what those top economic minds have done is figured out a way to rip you off without you being able to figure it out.